What is going on, IVE Warriors? So today we're going to talk about a interesting topic that a lot of people are always touching on, and it is fasted workouts. Should you work out fasted? Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Now, I don't think this video is going to be long because why should it? I mean, this is should be a pretty quick explanation, but you never know. Sometimes I go deeper into talking about these topics, but anyways, should you work out fasted? It depends. It actually depends, because workout means a lot of things. Sometimes people fuse all of their workouts into one, right? So if you do cardio and resistance training, you'll do cardio and resistance training all at the same time. So what does that mean for you? If there's a difference between doing cardio and doing resistance training when it comes to fuel, or when it comes to having food in your system, or not being hungry, or what have you, all of those different mechanisms that take place. Well, here's the thing. When going into a cardio session, you don't necessarily have to eat or have any food in your system, nor do you necessarily have to have it for resistance training in such an immediate fashion, but you do need it to some degree within the span of a 24-hour day. When it comes to cardio, if you work out fasted, there are benefits that show fat oxidation as well as fat release throughout a 24-hour day period, because your body is not using the glycogen that isn't there anymore, as you've depleted that glycogen storage, and your body is using body fats for fuel. So that helps in the sense that if you're pushing your body to use more body fat as opposed to using stored glycogen that you've depleted from overnight fasting and overall fasting, then you are targeting more body fat at that time when doing cardio. But the thing with muscle building, which is resistance training, is that intermittent fasting is not necessarily optimal for resistance training. So when it comes to building muscle, there are pillars of like 4 pillars for protein synthesis. And I've mentioned this before, but one is calorie surplus, which is automatically eliminated since you're trying to lose weight. You want to be at a caloric deficit, so we don't have that pillar. Another one is consuming protein, or increasing your protein intake, doing about 0.7 grams per lean pound of body weight that you have. That can be done with intermittent fasting, as that doesn't take away from reducing your calories below your daily energy needs, so that you could burn fat for energy, for fuel. So you could go ahead and do that. The other one is resistance training, which is doing the workout itself, which is actually the most powerful one of all of them. This is the one that's going to net the most results, or be the most determining factor for if you build muscle or not, followed by the consumption of protein. But then the fourth one is meal frequency, which you just won't have with intermittent fasting, because you're having less meal frequency. You're reducing your meal frequency versus increasing your meal frequency, which helps protein synthesis. Now, it's not critical, but it helps, which means it's more optimal to do it. And because you're doing intermittent fasting, you're not doing meal frequency, so you're not as optimal as possible. Doesn't mean you're not going to build muscle. Doesn't mean you're not going to get great results. It just means that you're not at the most optimal level possible when it comes to building muscle. So you have to take that into account. So when doing intermittent fasting, I would suggest that if you want to go into a fasted workout, if you want to do fasted workout, focus on doing cardio fasted, but don't do resistance training fasted. Give yourself the best opportunity possible, considering the limitations of not being in a caloric surplus and also not having meal frequency. If it were me, and I was telling you what I would be doing based off of this data, based off of the science, is have something to eat before you do a resistance training workout and split your cardio days with your resistance training days. For example, Monday do cardio, Tuesday do resistance training, Wednesday do cardio, Thursday do resistance training, Friday do cardio, Saturday do resistance training, or take the weekend off, whatever you want to do, but try not to have them spliced together or at the same time. Just do one day and the other day, just so that you can be as optimal as possible. Do you necessarily have to do a fasted workout? No. Is it the benefits that you get are not going to be so much more powerful than if you weren't fasted? Even with cardio, can definitely give you a slight assistance when it comes to fasted cardio. So hopefully this video has helped you understand what needs to be focused on when it comes to the different types of exercise that you can do, resistance training versus cardio. Intermittent fasting, as I mentioned already, isn't optimal for building muscle, so you want to give yourself the best leg up possible. Make sure you're consuming some food before you go into your resistance training workout, just so that this is only if you want to build more muscle or retain muscle as optimally as possible within the confines of doing intermittent fasting. Hopefully this video helps you guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.